Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We have a revolt kicking off in Guatemala, which we have multiple fronts with for some reason. So let's send some armies. I'm going to send the Army of Florida, small army here. And I'm going to send the Army of West Africa to this front, and I think I'll be able to get to that front as well, so we'll go ahead and send... I'm going to leave the Army of Central Africa there. I'm going to go ahead and send the Army of the Isthmus there. And I'm going to remember to put these armies back on advance, because I don't want my armies sitting around doing nothing in the middle of a war. Yeah! I don't know if you heard that, that sound effect happening. So we have an Ending the Slave Trade event, which I'm going to start with. Christian Fields, leader of the intelligentsia and a well-known opponent of the global slave trade, argues that our colonial ambitions in American Botswana should be leveraged towards ending the practice on the continent. Ending slavery within our own borders is a meager victory in the grand perspective of history. As long as there are countries in the world willing to sell slaves, there will be countries coming to buy them, and vice versa. The concept must be stamped out wherever it can be found, so that eventually it can be stamped out in the human soul itself. We have a duty to end slavery wherever our power reaches. Extra-colonial growth generation, extra-colonial growth speed. Commitment to this goal may lead to other events later, or practical diplomacy may supersede such moral sentiments, intelligentsia a little salty, or local slave trade could be a good source of workforce for our plantations. I'm definitely going to go with the first one. It's going to increase tensions with Sawana over here, but that's fine. Now, it has come to my attention that I'm a little bit short on taxation capacity in some areas. Illinois, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Gabon now. So we're going to go ahead and build some government admin in those territories. Let me see. We are short by... Oh, you know what? That's just the recently occupied thing. I don't need to worry about that. But Illinois, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Tennessee I do need to worry about. So, we'll start with Pennsylvania. Need about 2 more government admin worth. We'll build 5. No, actually we won't. We will only build 2. It doesn't matter that much. No bonus for getting more. Colonization of Katanga is completed. We'll deal with that in a moment. Illinois, we are way short. Let's go ahead and build 5 levels of government admin. North Carolina, I believe we are short. Yes. 2 levels needed here. We'll build 3 just for the sake of my own happiness. And then in Tennessee, we need 2 levels. We'll build up to 5. And then Katanga, we just finished colonizing. That's this area, and we will commence incorporation immediately to continue to improve our position on the continent. No progress happening over here. Wonder why that has happened. Not sure. Curious. We do have interests declared over here, so it's not that. Yeah, not sure. Let's go forward with the soundtrack. Mission to Africa. A group of Christian missionaries want to bring the salvation of the gospel to our colony in American East Angola. We do not believe everyone is entitled to salvation because we must be free to reject it, but I do believe everyone is entitled to the choice. We must not, cannot sit idle in the United States of America while there are yet unenlightened heathens in this world. If the colonial project is truly a moral one, as you claim, then surely all moral instruction must begin with this choice. Options are spreading the true faith is a vital part of the colonial project, extra conversion, and evangelicals stronger, or we're there for the glory of the United States, not the glory of God. I'm going to go with the second one. The evangelicals are a woefully small interest group in America, and they're not helping anyone. Local input shortages in Alaska. Oh, interesting. What is going on over here? Everything's expensive. Why? You're not You shouldn't be isolated. Well, let's build up some more ports. Alright. Visitors from the colonies. Individuals from Chokwe here. Intellectuals from Chokwe are visiting our capital, arguing the case that their home country is far more civilized than we make it out to be, and our colonial designs in them are unjustified. It is quite baffling, I must say, to hear you speak of being robbed when the United States of America brings you the greatest gift of all, the gift of civilization. The Chokwe gentleman leaned in and responded bitterly. I've seen the ships that arrive at our shores, and I have seen the ships that leave. The civilization you are bringing must be very light, but the price we pay for it seems quite heavy indeed. It's all affectation and lies, send them back immediately. Or perhaps there's some value in hearing their perspective. I'm going to say it's affectation and lies. This is going to make my armed forces, trade unions, and intelligentsia salty, but this will reduce colonial growth speed, and I can't live with... I just did the wrong thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I'm so good at video games. Oh, man. Everyone knows that I am so good at video games. Still in position 3, Great Britain seems to continue to accelerate upward in strength. They are notorious at this point. Might be a good time to end our alliance with them. I don't know. Okay, cool. Alaska has sorted itself out. Don't tell me about low standard of living. Some real market access issues, but we're working on responding to that, so maybe we'll wait until that's done just to let that happen. Alright, so fronts are all looking rock solid. So let's get this war on. Get out of here, Communist Guatemala. Once again, we have gold reserves above our maximum, although that's mostly because our maximum went down, but that's fine. It's just fine. It's just fine. I'm actually super pleased. Hey, there's the war. I'm actually super pleased that we got Gabon fully conquered at this point. Feeling pretty pleased with that situation overall. And I believe we are now finally... we are now finally getting to the point where we can make Venezuela a dominion, which again will make things much easier with them. Their economic dependence on us is not as high as I would like. It seems to keep decreasing. Somehow they managed to still have an economy with all this. All of the imperialism we're doing. Shocking, I know. Nobody could have foreseen this. So let me see. I want to grab Segu. And I want to grab Futatoro. Oop. I zoomed a little too in. However, what if... Do I still have... I don't still have anything going on with Senegal. They have an alliance with Oyo. So what if I grabbed Volta? 17.2 infamy. Gosh, that's so much. Never mind. Is Carta still... They are still a protectorate of Great Britain's. So I can only grab Segu and Futatoro, and actually I can only grab part of Futatoro, because if I grab both, it'll be... it might not be. I might be able to get both. You know what? Let's do it. Let's grab both chunks. What if I conquer Dutch Inner Mauritania? There's a 45% chance they'll say yes. They have defensive pacts with Bali, Futataro, Portugal, Siam, and Sulu. I'm not worried about that. Let's do it. Maybe we'll grab some chunks of Futataro as well, if they deign to resist. If we grab Inner Mauritania... Oh, these are two states here. Alright, taking that territory is going to be a pain. I want Volta so bad, y'all. It's silly. Alright, let's make this happen. Conquer state. Again, 45% chance they'll say yes. I would love it if they did. And I wouldn't have to deal with any of this. They didn't say yes. Gosh darn. Well, that's okay. I'm going to mobilize the Army of West Africa. Oh, I am holding a little bit of territory over there. Excellent. Let's go ahead and throw in a war goal. Just checking. Against the Windward Coast. No, I want to save that infamy for Futatoro. So send this army here. We'll send the army of Central Africa over here. I'm going to send the American Expeditionary Force over here. Now, I don't think they'll be able to get anyone into this territory, so I think we'll be fine. So I'll just grab those territories, and then it'll be just fine. Now, if Futatoro decides to align with them, then I will seize those states as well. If not, I'll grab Windward Coast. And we got some North German mass migration. Wonderful. It looks like Futatoro will not align. Well, that is what it is. Alright, Siam sides the Netherlands. I don't think that impacts my strategy one bit. Even the tiniest of bits. I would like to get more of the Windward Coast, though, so that'll be nice. Do I add... Ooh. Now that's an interesting option. You know what? Sure. I'll support an independent Dutch East Indies. That'll be neat. That'll be a fun game for the whole family. The great game. This is still escalating. No one else is getting involved. Bali continues to not be involved. Again, Siam I'm not super worried about. Alright. Infamy is pretty low. If I add a war goal to conquer the Dutch Windward Coast. Eastern New Guinea. Well, there is a front over here. I could steal Eastern New Guinea as well. That's an interesting option. That said, I think Windward Coast is more desirable for me. But I'm going to leave it a little longer just to let my infamy get a little bit further down. Can I reduce their autonomy right now? I can. Shabamzo. Reduce subject payments. Shabamzo. Oh, beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Alright. So, as we get going on in here, I think I got enough. And we're just barely at 24. Wonderful. French Empire sides with Brunei in a situation that doesn't seem relevant to me. Ooh, aristocratic revolt in British Congo. That's interesting. Bali sides with Tidor in a liberal revolt. That doesn't impact me. Alright, so there's shift work. Let me just take a quick pass through these. Alright, there's a peasant revolt in Brunei that France is involved in. I could theoretically get involved, but I don't. That doesn't seem useful. So we'll be neutral on that. There's a revolt in Tidor. There's impact in the Dutch East Indies. Bali is involved. Tidor doesn't desire my help. The liberal revolt will not be my subject, so we'll ignore that. This is an aristocratic revolt happening in British Congo. I'm going to leave that one open for the time being. Revolt in the Ionian Islands, not interested. This is a proletarian revolt in Jambi. Not interested. Strictly internal Dutch East Indian affair. Can't be bothered. Alright, so I think once this kicks off, I can basically grab my war goals and then just sort of have the situation sorted out. And I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think we're just gonna kind of do what we gotta do. Huh. Interesting. Bunch of different countries declaring neutrality. Once again, we have the hedge having a fight with itself, which again, fine by me. Don't need to worry about that. Congolese aristocratic revolt, I think I can just let that happen. And here's my war kicking off, starting with a battle in the Windward Coast, which I am winning. Wonderful. So that'll let us seize a little bit of territory, and then both of these armies are on their way to this other front, which will be just fine. In fact, let's go ahead and invade the Netherlands. We'll invade them with the Army of Central Africa. It's a small force, but with 5-to-1 odds, I think we can win. We'll see if they run these units back. And if they don't, that makes the war pretty close to over pretty fast. Western New Guinea front. Gosh darn it. We'll send the Army of Florida to deal with that. They might have too many dudes over there, and that'll be just fine if they do. Because I'm not going to be worried. Because I'm invading the Netherlands themselves. And we have this front fully conquered. That's fine. We'll send our main fleet with the American Expeditionary Force to invade the Netherlands as well. Just kind of make sure that this kicks off just fine. It's going to take some more time, but it is what it is. I'm not worried. They are not willing to accept surrender of the areas that I've requested. Requested! Very kindly and responsibly, like a diplomatic country would do. Landing has been made. Conquests are ongoing. The enemy does have an army here. And we are fighting. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and cancel this naval invasion here. Because the American Expeditionary Force has a place it can just go. Because we already managed the other landing. So, what is the Dutch capital right now? Is it Gelre? It is Holland. Alright, we got their capital fully occupied. So this war should pretty much finish out really soon. Smart going for Indonesia, I gotta say. Going for Guinea. You made a good call there, Netherlands. That was a smart play, but ultimately you could not defeat my being the United States of America and having a massive army. Although my army wasn't that big for the sake of just this war. How are my truces with... Okay, I no longer have a truce with Peru, Bolivia. I no longer have a truce with New Granada. So that means annexations can begin reasonably soon. Western New Guinea front, again, not really a concern at this point. We're holding the homeland, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. You up to say yes and give me everything I want? Yes, you are. Wonderful. Kabamzo. Give me the war goals. Sawana diplomatic play against us. Well, gosh and also golly. Where is it? Where are they? Let me at them. Okay. Over here. Alright, that's fine. Army of Central Africa is nowhere to be found here, so we'll just grab them. We'll grab them from the outliner. Some of my ofs are capitalized and some are not. I bet there's been a lot of screaming in the comments. Let's just go ahead and fix that quickly, so that I'm not in a situation in the comments. What if I named this the Army Ooh Central Africa? Oh, so good at video games. Alright, so you're on your way over there. Where are you coming from, Army of Central Africa? Excuse me? You know it's in the Atlantic. You're allowed to go via the Atlantic. You could go via the Atlantic. Nobody's stopping you from taking the Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean is an ocean that we have control of. Okay, alright, they're on their way. I didn't need to mobilize 2 armies, but that's fine. That's just fine. Why do I have an anti-Italian association in America? Your guess is as good as mine, friends. Ooh, another event. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the Alabama Observer has printed a bigoted article about the Muskogean people living there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. He threw the tabloid across the table with a huff. Absolutely vile lies, the lot of it. Alas, that won't matter to those who read it. They'll gobble it right up. He eyed the shocked maid's face, then righted himself. Of course they'd believe it. He hadn't given them proof to the contrary. Suppress it, reduce authority, or ignore it, -1 standard of living for Muskogean people in Alabama. I'm going to suppress it. I got plenty of authority. It's like 25 authority. It's fine. Action and reaction. As news escaped Turin of yet another crackdown on the Italian labor movement, outraged members of the evangelicals have taken to the streets of Washington, marching under the banner of the Anti-Italian Association. In the imagination of the American labor movement, Italy had long loomed as a bastion of reaction. But something felt different about this particular incident. Perhaps the violence exhibited by the Turin constabulary had been especially brutal this time. Perhaps it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. In any case, as the American workers unfurled their banners and marched towards the ambassadorial quarter, their cries for the overthrow of Emperor Giorgio di Savoia reverberated through the city like they never had before. As long as their anger is focused abroad, evangelicals join the Anti-Italian Association, or temper their rage with diplomatic action. Relations with Italy deteriorate, and the evangelicals get happier. I'm going to let them join that situation. Again, evangelicals in a lobby doesn't really affect my politics that much at all. So, Italy colonized Western Australia. Oh my goodness, Uluru has become a country. Let's improve relations with them. I say. By the way, for those of you who are new here, I am never not going to ally Uluru. Italy's going after the Dutch East Indies about something. You want a regime change in Sambas, you want to transfer Sambas, and you want to conquer Dutch East Indies, Eastern New Guinea. Well, I mean, I suppose I have to stand against them. Let's get war goals. What if we get... break country. Oh, I can break some pieces off. What if I just ask for a conquer war goal against... Well, Western Australia is not a good target. Don't they have some of Eastern New Guinea? Isn't this Italian Eastern New Guinea? Hold up. Hold up. Where is it? Am I a big dumb doof? And yes, I can't get it for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm not adjacent, but I am adjacent. Interesting. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see if they call me in. And if they call me in, then so be it. I think if Tunis joins, I would love a protectorate over Tunis. So that's kind of my soft goal here. Why do I have no progress here? Oh my gosh, I could colonize Eastern Australia. That's very funny. I'm not going to, but the temptation is extremely high. Why am I not colonizing here? Is there an issue? Is there a problem? Or with Sawana? Tensions are high. Well, that's interesting. Okay, they backed down. Alright, so no issues there. And we got our colonization rights. Wonderful. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I really hope Great Britain doesn't start sneaking in here just because I'm not making any progress. That would make me very sad. I say as I'm sneaking in a bunch of different places that Great Britain is colonizing. We're going way faster. We're going way faster. Alright, so once again I'm eyeing Futatoro. I should be eyeing El Salvador. 8.7 infamy to grab El Salvador. That's high temptation here. Oh my gosh. Are you serious with this? Why? It's supposed to be my canal. Are you even going to build the canal? You're just going to faff about. Britain colonized Zambezi. Why do they keep colonizing the people I want to be colonizing? I'm the one who colonizes. In any case, the growth of our empire is proceeding apace, and I'm pretty pleased with it overall. I think... Okay, so all of these countries are down to puppet at this point. So what's the over-under on annexing? Wow. 44 infamy, 85 infamy. The only way to do this might be goblin mode, friends. I think it might be. I think it might be just all goblins all the time. So, I think what that means is that our next move is going to be to take the time to get low on infamy so that we can annex Peru, Bolivia. Because that's just the way the news goes. We are going to see Venezuela increasing in liberty desire, obviously, when that happens. But there's not much we can do about that because we've just got to get all these states. I had no idea that the annex was going to be so much. You would think that it would be... Wait, can I do this as an overlord? Frickin', I should have taken Panama as a state away from them. I'd forgotten that this could happen, friends. I'd forgotten that they could just give up this territory for absolutely no reason, even though that's my territory and I want to build a canal there. Dang. Yeah, so I can take states if they're below 25 liberty desire, but I can't do that much of that, and not all. You know, Peru, Bolivia has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got a bunch of states. So I can't have that as my primary strategy. So I think I'm just going to have to eat the infamy and do it. So that'll be for a later episode. We're going to have a lot to do. For now, though, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I'll see you on the other side.